The program, A Renaissance Valentine, explores what I have termed the sublime side. We have these beautiful settings of the Song of Songs, and we also have the sordid side, which is kind of the saucy madrigals, the kind of bawdy song.
This program that we're going to be doing here at the Academy of Arts and Letters for the Miller Theatre, it's a fun program of various Renaissance love songs taken from both biblical sources and non-biblical secular sources. And the exciting thing for us is that it's very text-driven. Sometimes a lot of our music, it's sacred, and we've sung this text many, many times, and it can be, our focus on it can be more about the lines of music, the counterpoint. In this particular case, we are focusing a lot more on the words and the meaning of the words and how they relate to love in its many forms.
So we open this program first with a isorhythmic motet by Philippe de Vitry, which is a fun piece because there are three simultaneous texts going on. The two basses sing in canon together about the Virgin Mary, Gaude Gloriosa, Hail Glorious Virgin. The tenor talks about the virtue of pure womanhood, which is lovely. And then I get to sing about being particularly careful when choosing your wife. The Song of Song, which is Solomon's, and that is some really beautiful love poetry. Could be written by Solomon, could it be written by people in his court, we're not sure. But the composers come from Flanders, they come from England, there's a few Spanish composers, and you can really hear the different regions from which they come. There's a real connect between the music of the time and visual art of the time. You can see woven tapestries, you can see hands gesturing to hands in paintings as just the same in the music. It's really, really beautiful. And so it's a real blending of all the cultures of the Renaissance that were blossoming at the time. But aside from all that, it was also a time when people were starting to realize that they could have some fun, both courtly fun and people could write music for anything. It didn't have to only be churches, and people were really beginning to write down secular music. It wasn't just an oral or an oral tradition.
In addition to some of the repertoire that we're doing, the Italian madrigals, and we are doing some French chansons, we're doing some English bawdy songs, one of which is a Purcell catch, which was probably written on a cocktail napkin, or the equivalent in the day. That is just pretty much a round that we pass from voice to voice, and it is a rather lurid text, which I'm not going to give away right now, but we do toe that line in this program, and that's the two sides of love again. We go with the bawdy song, and we also have the very reverent and spiritual love themed as well.
We were given an opportunity by Miller, thankfully, to develop a program that was a little bit more letting our hair down and stretching our legs a little bit as far as programming goes. We're exploring repertoire that isn't straight-laced, it isn't church repertoire, which is the majority of what we sing. And so we're really taking some liberties with interpretation. There are some lute songs that we're choosing to just sing on their own. There's a few places where the musicologists in the audience, we hope we don't offend too much, but we are looking to bring this in. We're always trying to have as much modern sensibility to early music as we can, so that it's accessible not only to audiences who've never heard this, but maybe a new way of hearing something that isn't exactly how you'll hear it on every recording. That I'm certainly an audiophile. I have many recordings of lots of these great pieces, so it's nice for us to really break the rules, and hopefully our audiences are appreciating the rule breaking as a way of exploring new aspects to this music.